Here at Rod Patrick, we take the fit process very, very seriously because we know the importance in your performance on how you're fit. So come in, let's give you the opportunity. Tell me what you're experiencing. Tell me what your challenges are. And I know together we're going to find the right answer, and you're going to be happier than you've ever been with your boots. Come see me, and thank you.
Thank you. Oops.
No way. No way.
Welcome to the Keeping It Real show. No way. From Oak Point, Texas, the Tokyo Tex, the Kamikaze Cowboy, the Sukiyaki Jockey, the Man of Trail, Tim Kimura. And from San Antonio, Texas, the man on a mission and a mission on his mind, the man behind the wheel and keeping it real, Brad Jewett. How about a little new intro music tonight? Played with that a little bit. How we doing, Timmy?
See my sign?
There's no Brad Wellendorf yet to comment on that.
Oh, damn it. I have to wait till he shows up.
I saw your sign, man. Again, I never watched a single snap of that game, so I have no idea what came of that. That game, other than it just looked like the Bucks figured out Pat Mahomes. What you got? Good try. Hey, Tim will still take some more Chiefs gear there, Wellendorf. Just saying. Yeah. We like free stuff.
It's all good. Well, I was at Prairie Classic this week, quite a large show.
So how was that show?
Oh, yeah. Lots to do. My good assistant, Carson Griggs, he did a good job this week. I was really excited for him to do that.
Always nice
props
when
to you,
give Carson some good props.
He was running this week for the Wood, Las Vegas.
He brought it home with him, huh? Brought it to
he was like, I think he wanted to be done. He went after the normal. Love that.
You broke up there. What'd you say? He went to what?
I said he wanted to be done, right, with the horse show. So, he figured out that if he walks real slow to go fix the boards, that makes it like another 25 more minutes of the day, right?
Yeah.
But when he runs, then we get done a lot earlier. So it's all about him now.
For sure.
I had a good time in Oklahoma City. Great show.
Awesome. Well, we're glad that it's a wrap. And I think now next everybody's gearing up for Sun Circuit. Thank you for your
And
sponsorship.
Dixie National. And get me to Dixie National too.
Yes, for sure.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So pretty exciting.
I want to give Debbie Hody some props, because Debbie Hody is a new sponsor again, and Winning Couture is about pushing the edge for that perfect, custom, one-of-a-kind garment. We search and source high-end fabrics from all over the world. Most importantly, their customers come first. They're happy. They're not happy unless you are completely satisfied and feel amazing in your new Winning Couture outfit. Contact Debbie Hody. Get your pen and paper out. 979-277-2207. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Winning Couture,
Thank you,
for your continued sponsorship. Also, Kent Ray Taylor has a little message. Thank you for your new sponsorship as well, Kent Ray. Wishing everybody a happy and safe 2021 show season. He can't wait. And congratulations. I believe Snap It, Send It was 2020 Horse of the Year for NSBA. So congratulations to you, Kent, on that great horse.
So it was fun. I got to see Kent Ray this week. He was there at Prairie Classic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He was practicing his showmanship out there. So he was just making it happen. So
was he showing the gray horse?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Well, he didn't show it in my pen, but yeah.
Right.
He was out there every day. He was burning it.
You think he'll show you? You think he'll show your pen?
Eventually, I told him I'm 20 minutes from his barn, right? I go, just call me up. I'll come help you any day of the week, right?
I mean, how often is he there?
I don't know.
That's the question.
I'm not sure. But did you see that Lee Berryhill was on tonight?
I did. I just talked to Leonard through text, and it's not a for sure thing yet, but Thursday's looking promising. Oh, good.
Okay, I'd love to have those two for sure.
Yeah.
Little memo to Lee over there. So okay.
Yeah. I'm sure that's probably why she logged on. She's like, okay, I'm gonna get ready for the show.
I think Miss Shellie is ready to go. What do you think?
I think so. Kona, let's cue up the Nutrena commercial. Yeah, then we have Miss Shellie Dalluge gonna be joining us. Let's see it, Kona.
We're just about ready to get underway. Our next exhibitor is at the gate.
They're trying to prove that they belong here.
They really have their eyes set on that podium, but this pair just hasn't been consistent.
Championship titles are elusive.
This is a difficult field.
It all comes down to this. Here we go.
When years of work come to seconds of action, give yourself every edge. Get rebound technology for faster muscle recovery with ProForce from Nutrena.
What's up, Shellie?
Hey.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited to be back.
Good. It's good to have you back again. You're becoming
hey, Brad Jewett,
a consistent guest. We like that. Yes, sir.
Can you say her last name again?
Dalluge. I know I'm like.
I know you like to say it. You like to say it
all
the time. So I'll make sure you get her
Dalluge.
last.
I love it.
Shellie, where are you from?
Originally from Nevada, but I live in Bryan, Texas now.
Okay, very good. Okay, Bradford, sorry.
She's a Vegas girl. So we brought Shellie back on tonight because, as many of you know, if you've been keeping up with the show, I am super excited about my horses. The way they look, the way they feel, the health of them. And this lady right here in the middle between Tim and I has a lot to do with that. She's done a great job of evaluating my horses and letting us know how we need to be feeding them better to get the most out of our animals, right? And so I believe it's been 3-4 months. We're unsure exactly how long it's been. So we brought Shellie in here tonight, and I have some pictures. We have some before and after pictures actually of some of my horses, and I just want to share with you the difference on them. But tell us a little bit about this new feed that you want to focus on tonight, Shellie, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So ProForce has actually been around for quite a while for us. If you are from the East Coast, you probably remember it as the black bag. We reinvented the black bag a little bit, upped it with the graphics, added some things here and there, and we'll get into those. But when I came out to Brad's barn right at the end of August, when he got back from the youth world at NSBA, I was excited to get him on or get his horses on the ProForce because we were getting ready to make some big changes that he didn't know what I was going to get horses on or what changes those were. He just trusted me to make that decision and make that call. And I think you guys will agree when you see the before and afters that the changes we made to an already great feed just further enhanced his horses.
You bet. You bet. We can start with, you want to start with Moonshine?
Yeah. Moonshine, when Brad called me, Moonshine was the first one that he brought up. This horse is really special to him and his clients there in the barn. I know Miss Hannah loves him dearly, and he had suffered some setbacks, and so they were really concerned about getting him back going. And he was the first one we looked at, and I really wanted to get him taken care of. And so when you see these before and afters, it's not quite all the way where, without the saddle, but you can obviously see just right there in his neck, you can see the muscle build up, and then throughout his barrel, just how he's filled out. And then his hair coat, just the shine is so different, and you can see the oil. And I honestly think he's a little bit darker when you were looking at the picture that was taken right after Hannah won the world unanimously. And then today, those pictures were taken this afternoon, correct, Brad?
Correct. Yeah. About 2 hours ago.
Yeah. So I'm just absolutely blown away with how great he looks. I mean, as you guys can tell, he obviously didn't perform horribly with what Brad was feeding beforehand, and he didn't look horrible, but Brad just wanted that extra little edge there, and I think the ProForce has definitely done that in just September from January, so a good 4 months total he's been on the product.
Yeah, kick that back up, pick that picture back up if you would, Kona. Because I think the muscling piece is what you're talking about, and so this horse is make no mistake. He tried to founder on us a year and a half coming up almost 2 years ago, and so we battled with him as far as whether he was going to be able to make it or not, and obviously he made it in 2020 with Hannah's World Championship, but so he obviously lost a lot of muscle tone through that process because he was turned out once he was able to get out and move around and walk around and get in the pasture. He was turned out for, 6 months, something like that, and lost a lot of muscle tone. Obviously couldn't be ridden or anything like that. And so that was a big reason why we wanted to bring Nutrena in and allow them to do their thing. But if you look, like Shellie was kind of pointing out, like you look at the muscle in his shoulder with Hannah, you can see it there. Obviously it's the other side, but you can see it there. And then you look how it's just a little bit more prominent and developed, and that's just him standing. That's not him coming out of the World Show pin, but and then again through his neck, how much more strength he has through his neck, through his loin, through his back. And Shellie had told me this in the process of swapping over, that it would help their back, which what horse trainer doesn't want more muscle over their horses' backs, right? So I love can you talk a little bit, Shellie, about the ribs? Because, some feeds have a lot of fat and they put fat, but they don't put the muscle. And I think, we can't zoom in on this picture, but if you could see, you can kind of see his ribs, but it's not his ribs. It's what you're seeing that's seeing that healthy covering over his ribs, right? Yep.
Yeah. So kind of to backtrack a little bit there, when anybody comes to me and I'm standing there in the feed section and then count, just doing my deal, and they say, my horse needs weight. Okay, cool. Well, there's a couple areas where we can put weight. So what Brad's referring to there when we're looking at his barrel is he's got that calorie count. We've got the weight over his belly there. Yeah. And then if you tell me that your horse needs weight over his backbone, I instantly know that we've got to start getting that amino acid package in there. And the cool thing is with this ProForce is we've got a really good balance of the fat content to help increase the calories to put the weight on. And then we've got the amino acid package to help build that muscling. And so if you guys were on last Wednesday, I think it was, when I was talking about feeding the mare in full and checking the body condition, we like our performance horses at a 5 to 6 range on that body condition scale. So to put that in a little bit of perspective, 1 is emaciated, that's just skin and bones. 9 is the cartoon character that we see on the Disney Channel. And Moonshine is a perfect example of a high 5, 5.5. So he might get closer to that 7 range if he sits for a couple weeks and doesn't go show. But coming off of a long, 3 weeks, Brad, you were on the road. You went from Florida to Vegas.
Yep.
I mean, for him to maintain that weight is amazing right there.
Just to be clear, he did not go to Vegas, but he stayed home after Tampa and had moderate exercise on the panel walker, and that's about it. So we've been back from Vegas a few weeks, and so it was just really easy to get him right back into that shape. And we're starting to press on him more for Arizona coming up and all that. But again, they need, like you say, the calories for the amount that I'm pushing him and I'm riding him. I mean, he's a world champion, but you don't want to rest on your laurels. You want to push and try to get more, right? So there's a lot at stake in Scottsdale, and we're going guns a-blazing.
Can I stop for a sec?
Yes.
So, sometimes when I hear you guys talk the feed, because I don't have horses, Tina and Lena have the horses and stuff, but in my mind, I'm thinking, nutrition is so important for these horses because they're athletes, right? And I see great horse trainers out there that just might take some of that for granted, or they'll get people like you to come in and check their horses. But it's so important nowadays to get the edge, okay? If that's what Bradford's talking about here.
Absolutely.
That if the right fuel is not going into your horses, they can't perform to the right level, right? And so it's kind of like just getting more educated all the time, the owners and the trainers, and that's why this show tonight is so important. I think that we just kind of hear stories of like how Brad's horses have done it and how you can help other horses, and for sure, Brad, I think we said at the beginning, definitely can ask questions tonight, right? I mean, this is a platform. Shellie's in here tonight. If you have some type of questions, you can definitely type them in, and Conan and I will pull them out and stuff like that too. Sorry about that.
Yes, for sure. Make sure that you, if anything that you hear, if it's not explained right, or you want us to circle back, that's like a funny word these days, isn't it? You want us to circle back to it, we can do that as well. So yes, this is very much a viewer interaction type of show for sure. Who do we want to pull up? Do we have the comparisons of any other horses here?
We have Dice.
Dice. Okay. Yeah, this is a good one as well.
Yeah. And so why Cohen is pulling that up, Tim, you mentioned these horses are athletes, and we need to nourish their bodies as such. And last week when Tina and Lena were on, they both mentioned, taking care of their bodies as well. And, we're considered athletes too. I mean, there's NCAA for equestrian sport now. So clearly we're hitting the mark there on that athlete side of it. And we have to fuel our bodies and exercise our bodies just the same. Is because we can't be expected to perform, and we can't expect our horse to perform if we're not at top shape either. So the cool thing about equine nutrition is it relates so much to human nutrition in that aspect. Here's a picture of Dice. Again, the picture on the right was taken this afternoon, a couple hours ago, and the picture on the left is the before. So first thing I notice is just the shine. And that's something that's really unique with the ProForce is the omegas that we have in there and the oils. It's really going to help bring out that shine in the hair coat and bring the oils to the surface of the skin.
What pops out to me is the same thing that we saw on Moonshine is, you're obviously not going to change their bone structure through feed. Yep. But I look at the muscle over that bone structure. And we talked about, when you build proper muscle on a horse, it's going to support the joints. It's going to support everything more, right? And so, I look at the muscle in his neck and his shoulders, in his back, in his barrel, in his hip, everything. And again, that other picture was only taken probably, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. And so it truly, he looked, I don't want to say malnourished because that sounds bad because he's not malnourished there. But when I look at the picture on the left, I'm like, and this is what I told you when you came in, my horses are just lacking that bloom, that I just want that little bit more substance to them. And you look at that other picture of them and all we did was pull them out of the stall, brush them. They don't have any peppy or shine or anything on him. That's just brushing him off and bringing him out and taking a picture of him. So just love the muscle that my horses are building.
Yeah. So Brad, you mentioned, the bloom. It's a great word. Easiest way to describe that. And I'm glad you said that because I wouldn't have thought of that word right away. And as you were talking through it, the one thing that I was sitting there looking and analyzing the picture is over his withers. He's actually filled in throughout his withers. So as I was doing his assessment, I was going over doing that top line, and it's graded on a scale of A, B, C, or D. A is ideal. That's nice and full. When I look at that horse from behind, he's going to have a nice roundness to him. Yeah. A B is he's missing one area of muscling. And that was one common area that I saw on your horses was right behind that withers. And that's where we do see it across the board. It's not just your horses. And so when I look at this picture now, if I were to go stand next to him in person and lay my hand right behind his withers, it's not going to concave down. It's actually going to be protruded out. And then that carries back through his loin, and you can see that muscle. So my hand, instead of doing this, it's going to go whoosh and get bigger as I run it down the backbone.
Yes. Yeah, I get it. So we do have a question popped up from Whitney Legacy, and then we can come back to some more pictures. Can you explain the difference between the Triumph and the ProForce?
Yeah, so the Triumph is a great line. It's going to have all the, the premium nutrient values that you're going to find in the ProForce. Where you're going to see some differences is the amino acid package. We're only going to have one or two of the amino acids versus the ProForce is going to have all three. You're also going to get the pre and probiotics, and you're going to get the rebound technology, which is not going to be in the Triumph. Great product. We have a lot of horses that do really well on the Triumph. You're just not getting the full bells and whistles that you would get with the ProForce. So kind of think of it as you're going to Panera or like McAllister's, and you're going to get all your nutrients that you need for that day or in that meal. But you're not going to that premium steakhouse where you're getting that USDA grade 1. I think that's how you grade steaks. Grade 1 prime steak right there, and the full package that you'd be getting at that meal, if that makes sense.
So Conan, do you have a picture of that bag that I sent you?
I hope that helped, Whitney. I got it, but if you need more explanation, let us know.
Conan Cam. I was just curious, is this the bag I saw tonight? So I don't know if Conan has that picture close by.
The black bag, or is it the?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we just didn't get it uploaded. But yeah, it is a black bag. If you want to go to the ProForce slide in the slide deck that I sent, Kona, that should have a good picture of the bag.
He's pulling it up.
He's pulling it up. Cool.
Hey, so Brad Wellendorf just joined.
What color was the bag before, and what's the bag now?
So before, back when we first launched the ProForce line, it was just a solid black bag. Yeah. So that's really what everyone knew it as, and it was only available on the West Coast, if I remember correctly, or not West Coast, East Coast. Yeah. That was before my time with Nutrena. Yeah. And then we relaunched it, and we kept it with black. We kept the same black horse on there, but it wasn't as bright with the blues and the greens. And then with the relaunch that we did, and we added a few things in October, we went to this really bright, rockin' fuel line. And so if you see the ProForce Senior, it's going to have a lot of the same benefits as the fuel here, but it will have Senior, and it'll be red and orange.
And we do, I think, yeah.
Okay. I was just good. It's what I saw tonight, so I just took a picture of it. So
yeah.
Is that what you put Moonshine on? Was the ProForce Senior? Yep.
Moonshine was on the Senior because it was a little bit lower of a starch content because he tried to founder. We wanted to lower that starch amount.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
Do you have one more horse, or can I ask some questions now?
Either way, we can go to a horse, or if you want to ask questions, you can go to whichever you want.
Okay. I'm going to ask mine. So for the Vollmer girls here, like some of the horses were on rehab, and they were on stall rest and like hand walking, but when a horse gets injured or if they have to stall rest for whatever reason, what do you do nutrition? I mean, what do you do with the feed, or is there something different that you do so they don't get so crazy in their stalls because they're just standing there and playing with the ball and all that?
Yeah. Yep. So the first thing I kind of want to throw out that we get a lot of times and address the the crazy or full of energy is, we'll hear customers say, I don't want that high of a protein. Protein's going to make my horse hot or full of energy. And that's actually a myth. Protein is good for our horses, just like it's good for us. What's going to allow that horse to have a little bit of extra energy or make him a little bit hot is the amount of starch and sugar that's going into that system, and they're not being able to break it down fast enough. So think about giving a little kid some cotton candy and locking him in a room all day. He's going to bounce off the walls by the end of the day because he can't release that sugar. Horses are the same way. So when you get those horses that, we are having to rehab and whatnot, ideally you don't really want to reduce their calorie or the amount that you're feeding that morning or afternoon, because we formulated these feeds to meet them or to give them their nutrient requirements that they need for the day. So if you're going to go in and only give them a little bit of handful, you're actually going to start depriving them of the nutrient that they're needing. So you could go to like Safe Choice Original is a great option for that. Still going to get all their nutrient profiles, a little bit lower calorie intake, but it's not going to make them hot, or ideally is make them as hot. The other thing you could do is feed a diet balancer. For example, our Empowered Top Line Balance is a great one because it's going to be a lower calorie intake, lower in that fat, but you're going to still help keep that muscle tone and give them their nutrients that they need, but you don't have to feed a whole lot of it. It's like 1 to 2 pounds a day.
Then my second question, and I'll let you guys go back to your horses. When like the weather's changing now, it gets cold and it gets hot, and we're in Texas right now, and it's going to be cold this week, and then 3 weeks from now we're going to Arizona where it's super hot probably. Is there something that we should consider in their balance when they more electrolytes when they go to Arizona, or is there something like that needs to be referred to? Let's say Connecticut, even Whitney's horses versus coming to Arizona, do they have to change their balance of their diet?
I really wouldn't change their grain balance, because you're adding in the starches and sugars and proteins. And so if you're constantly changing it, you're never giving the horse's system a chance to adjust. And we know how finicky their systems can be. So going out, when you're traveling, try to pack the grain that you're buying there locally, because it's going to have the ingredients that are from that area that horse's system is going to be used to. And that will help reduce that chance of any issues coming in. Try to bring your own hay. Again, they're used to that nutrient level profile from your hay in that area. That makes it a little bit easier. You can change the hay when things happen, but just know that you're changing up their system a little bit. Keeping water, making sure they're drinking water, it's going to be a huge thing that's just going to help keep their system flowing. Adding in the electrolytes is never a bad thing in that aspect, especially in the winter, just like us, they don't drink as much. Traveling is going to create some stress. The water is going to taste different. So if you start them on electrolytes a couple days before, so they're used to that taste, so nothing really changes when you get to the horse show. We'll get that city water. I don't always like drinking city water, so I'm sure my horse doesn't either. So that's some ways you can kind of help adjust that either. But I really wouldn't go changing your grain a whole lot. Just like I said, because you're going to start throwing off the microbes in the system with that.
And we touched on that, I think one of the first shows we had you on, about how your grains are where they're manufactured in each area of the country, right? Because like you said, it kind of brings in that it keeps in that area, I guess. Yeah. That's maybe the best thing to say. But the one thing I wanted to bring out, because I saw a post on Facebook, somebody asked, did anybody else's horses blow a hair coat after Tampa and being in Florida, And I mean, people were like, yes. And my horses have done that in the past, and this year they have not. And the only thing that I've changed is the feed that I'm feeding, And so I don't know. I'm not saying, I'm not going to say that Nutrena claims that, you feed our feed and you won't blow a hair coat. I know that wouldn't be fair, but I have to say that my horses, and I don't put lights up at the horse show either. I maybe I should, but I typically, I think because the lights stay on really all night at the horse shows anyway, and so I typically have an issue with the hair coats, and this year I didn't. And so, you know, my hair coats, maybe it's just that they were that healthy going to the horse show. And, you know, I took all my own hay, I took all my own grain. I didn't have to buy anything there. And so it, you know, I'm just thinking that maybe that was a big part of why my horses came home and went to Vegas and then came home and they still have good hair coats. So, you know, speak to that if there's anything to be spoken to. And Brad, we like your comment about Shellie. That's awesome. I'm glad you've been able to help your horses and your dog's nutrition. Fantastic.
Yeah, Brad's been awesome to work with. I've enjoyed getting to visit with him on the phone. But to your point, Brad, so I think one thing to kind of think about is we're thinking through, you know, horses blowing hair coats and things like that. I'm going to say a lot of it has to do with their immune systems not being strong, and there's something that's just kind of set it off.
Yeah.
So if you think about us, we can go to a horse show and we're feeling strong and healthy. We go through a lot of stress. It's late nights, early mornings, not eating well. Our internal system's just not happy with us. And that's a lot of times when we come home and get sick. And so, you know, by having the pre and probiotics already going into that horse's system, you're helping them keep their microbes strong and healthy. And, you know, I mentioned last week on the call that the immune system is so important, but also keeping that gut health strong because they work hand in hand. So that may, like I said, I can't go in and say, well, feed Nutrena, it's not going to blow a hair coat. But I definitely think keeping that gut health strong and working properly is going to be a huge asset overall in everything.
Agreed.
So
the amino acids that you've talked about, like all of those things, like they make a difference, and it's not going to make a difference in a day, you know, but over a period of time. And I've been feeding you Nutrena long enough now to know that I can see the difference. And that's why I was so excited about this show. And Kona, if you want to pull up those other pictures while we're here in this spot, I can see the difference in my horses, you know. Just awesome. So the top left is our old So Blazing I'm Amazing. And he's kind of been retired. He has been retired from the youth pen. And now he's a walk trotter and does some loping classes. Mama Pardoon is starting to get with it. So he's not on a supreme exercise program, gets on the panel walker, gets ridden around, gives some lessons, walk trot lessons, and gets ridden by the trainer a few times. But so he's not on that, but you know, we don't have a previous picture of him, unfortunately. But if I could just speak on his behalf, he's 17 now, I think. He is holding the same thing. It's that bloom, that word bloom that I was talking about has been, look over his bone structure in his shoulders, in his hip, in his stifles and gaskins and all that. He just has a better feel for him. And by far and away, his hair coat is way better since we've had this on. So, and he had just gotten unsaddled right before this picture. We did not hose him off. She brushed on him as best she could. So, and again, no shine products or anything like that, but you can kind of see, and the same thing with the mare at the bottom, same thing. She had been ridden. She had a long day today, working trail and stuff like that. So, but you can still see over her neck and the muscle. And if we had a previous picture of her, you would definitely see a difference in her. Her neck was much more spindly, not the muscle over her back. And this was a horse that Shellie really wanted to see a change in that muscle over her back and in her wither and stuff like that. And we're seeing a huge difference. And then the top right is Moonshine again.
Yeah. So just for grins and giggles, and I've got, I'm going to go off key here. If anybody can kind of just guess the weight of Miss KJ, I think, Brad, when you looked at it, you were like, no way, she doesn't weigh that much. Just so someone just kind of looking at that picture, I will free bag coupon to anybody that can guess this mare's weight, because she is definitely deceiving when you stand next to her, and then when you weigh her, your jaw drops. So first person to get close enough, I will send a free bag coupon.
She's kind of short and stocky, you know. I mean, like I stand by that horse a lot of times, and it's deceiving. Yeah, whatever.
You're talking about KJ?
Yeah.
No, she's not short. She's a world champion in the hunt seat equitation. She's probably 16 hands anyway.
Really?
Yep. She looks it, but that's what again, the bloom to me, she doesn't look like that kind of, you know what I mean? But when you put her under saddle, she'll completely change.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting here looking at my notes too. So first off, we got two that are super close, Whitney and Brad. Whitney guessed 1,200 pounds. Brad, you guessed 1,249. Y'all are right in between. She weighed about 1,240.
Wow.
Okay. Unbelievable. That's what she weighed previously.
And now what do you think she weighs?
Shoot. I took her to the vet to because we're going to breed on her this year, and I could have had that answer, and I did not get I don't remember the weight. Darn it. I wish I would have, because I'm sure it's much more than that.
Kona, can you pop that picture back up? So I'm sitting here looking through my notes, and I had KJ listed as a top line value of a C. So that it means she was missing right behind the withers, and she was real thin throughout her loin. And as I'm looking at her, we still have plenty of opportunity to develop her right behind her withers.
Yes.
But if I were to slide my hand back from her withers, so she's going from like this, and she's getting wider right there where that saddle's going to be hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Whitney and Brad, you guys were the two closest, so I will send y'all some coupons. I will connect with you.
Yes, you won, Whitney, but you tied too. You tied, Whitney.
Yeehaw!
Where was I going?
Did I lose your train of thought with my yeehaw?
Yeah. But yeah, so we're looking at that top line there, and she's definitely filled out right along her loin. And that when we look at horses too, and I don't think I've ever shared this, horses actually will gain their muscle from the back forward. So we're seeing that development moving forward for sure on her.
So we're talking, Cherry. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but we're talking about, we have Nutrena on our show tonight, and we're talking about the ProForce Fuel feed, which is what my horses are on. It's not supplements. This is the feed that we're talking about. So hopefully that kind of helps catch you up a little bit.
When did you guys go out and do the first analyzing these horses? Remember when that was?
It was right at the end of August. I think, Brad, you literally had just gotten back from an SBA World. Yeah. I think you've been home like 2 days kind of deal.
So,
right. I think
so. It's like 5 months. 5 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we started, I believe we started with Nutrena in mid-September. Yeah.
So
and that's one thing I'm going to encourage too. If you make any transition with feed or you're adding a supplement, give it 60 to 90 days before you're really going to start evaluating it. You're going to see the hair coat change. You're going to see simple little changes, but step back, give it 60 to 90 days, because that's how long it's going to take to fully work through that horse's system before you decide to make any other changes.
Well, do you think sometimes when, let's say it's the sisters here, okay? I mean, since they see their horses every day, is it kind of harder to see unless you really take a picture or something like that? Because as they subtly change and gets better, I mean, don't you think? Like we had photos and pics of those horses before. We watched you do it, and now seeing it now, you can see the difference. Where sometimes if you're just handling your horse every day, it seems like it's harder to see. I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Taking those before and after pictures, taking them at when you start, taking them at 30 days. You could even take it at 2 weeks, because you will see a little bit of a change. Excuse me. Then take it at 30 days, and then 60 days, and then again at 90 days. It's kind of like, go ahead.
My last one would be just like when we were doing our weight loss thing, okay? Like we had to record every day, and we had to record what we're eating. And when you watch it and you record your weight and your size of your waist and stuff like that, you actually get to see the progression as it goes through, right? I mean, took a picture, we gain when we're fat, and then we go the nutritionist, and then we start eating better, counting our calories, exercising more. We get to see it like 6 months down the road or 3 months down the road, I think. I see it's easier to see the change, I think.
Yep, for sure. And I think I saw something on Facebook a long time ago. You know, it takes 21 days for something to become a habit. And that's when people actually start seeing a change. And you may see a little bit, but by 21 days, people have started to see things change in your body as well when you go through things like that.
Psychocybernetics. That's where I learned that. It's just like trail, right? When I coach, it takes them like 20. I can't just change them overnight. It takes you 21 days to establish that habit. So,
for sure.
Any music, Bradford? You want me to do it?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh yeah, I'm not slow. I got this.
All right, here we go.
Okay, our first time to do it this way.
Rapid fire time, Shellie.
Gosh.
Okay, you ready?
Surprise.
Okay, question number 1. 10 questions. Here goes. Name an animal that describes you.
Ooh. Pretty obvious. A horse.
Okay.
Simple one.
Name your favorite thing about living in Texas.
The Mexican food.
Okay. Name your go-to drink at Starbucks.
Oh, white chocolate mocha.
Name your favorite color and why.
I'm gonna have 2, pink or purple, and it's because they're girly, and purple is the color of royalty.
Okay. What was your favorite subject in school?
Probably English.
English, good job. Okay. Name the last movie you have watched.
Ooh, The Reckoning. We went and saw that Friday night. It's a little
love it.
A little weird.
Good job. Good job. Okay, name your favorite restaurant you like to eat at, and what do you like to order?
Olive Garden, and I like their Zuppa Toscana soup.
Soup.
Okay, look. Name your favorite app besides Facebook you like to use every day.
Oh gosh. Probably do Instagram. I'm on that one a lot. And I've recently discovered TikTok.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Two more. Name your favorite thing you like to cook.
Well, I'm going to go with the one I answered last time, meatloaf. I make pretty good meatloaf.
Right. Okay, good job. Okay, what's the first thing you would buy if you won $1 million in the Texas lottery?
I'm buying a horse because I need a horse. I'm missing not having a horse.
Okay, good job.
That's
okay,
it?
Bradford.
I will do a horse and the truck and trailer.
Tell me about your meatloaf.
And nice. Good job, Kona. Do we have some commercials that we're going to be popping up here from our sponsors?
There was one.
Yeah, let's do it. Here, I got this before you do it.
And now, a message from our sponsor.
Oh, nice, Bradford. Nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
If you're looking for a smarter way to ship, look to Unishippers. We've been helping small to medium-sized businesses cut their shipping costs for more than 30 years. You'll get significant savings with UPS and more than 65 LTL freight carriers by leveraging the group buying power of our 90,000 plus customers. Unishippers is a one-stop shop for reliable shipping, significant savings, exceptional personal service, and easy online logistics management. Let Unishippers deliver for you. Call Mark and his team today.
So, we'll start with Jeannie's question.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Keeping It Real show. We thank you, sponsors, for being a part of the Keeping It Real show. Of course, we couldn't do it. Yep. Sorry, Chiefs fans.
Sorry,
congratulations, Brad. Bucks. And what are they calling it? Tampa? Tom Brady? Tampa, Florida. Yeah. Dude's a beast.
Sorry, Chiefs. I
think he affects both sides of the ball, period. Personally, that's what I think.
You'll be back. You'll be fine.
So do we want to dive into Tina Vollmer's question here, Jim?
Sure. She was all excited about her question. Make sure you ask my question. I said, no problem, honey. We got this. Okay. You want to pop it up, Kona, or you have it?
Pop it up, Kona, and I'll read it. What would you recommend for a young horse that is going through a growth spurt and looks lean but healthy with a great hair coat?
So, first question is, when you say he looks lean, where does he look lean? Does he look lean over that top line, like I mentioned, or is he just lean overall, his whole body?
Overall, the whole body, she said.
Okay. That was kind of where my thought was going. How old is he?
3.
Okay. So he's a teenage boy stage. So I'm going to go with my go-to, and it's one of my favorite products. Just even though we're talking about the ProForce Fuel, I absolutely love the Safe Choice Senior. It's a 14% protein and an 8% fat content. So since you're wanting to give him a little bit of extra, that 8% is really going to help. And we've added in our Empower Top Line Balance product to that. So not only are you going to get your calories with that 8% fat, but you're also going to get your amino acid package to help build that muscle and help him just overall develop. Plus, you'll get beet pulp, rice bran, and flaxseed already added in there. And then the other thing, since he's going through that growing spurt, you're going to have our NutriBloom Advantage. So what that's going to do is help him utilize all the fibers. So all that hay that you're giving him, he's going to get 15% more from what you're feeding him. So that should help him pick up the weight and then get that nice bloom that Brad was mentioning there. No pun intended. The word of the NutriBloom Advantage. But that's my favorite product. And you can feed it, despite it being a senior horse feed, you can feed it to all life stages. We actually have a lot of customers that have like cell preps, yearlings. A lot of our racehorse customers, they will feed this Safe Choice Senior because of that higher fat content. It's also higher in the pre and pros to help that gut health get strong too.
She's thanking you right now. She's nodding. She's thanking you.
Perfect. There's some stuff coming for you, Miss Tina, so that should help.
Boom.
Thank you.
Connected.
Thank you so much. You guys, can we jump to the rebound technology?
Yeah, so Kona, if you want to go to the first slide that has all the bullet points. Yeah. So everybody kind of take a second. Just think about getting ready for a horse show. We are riding every day. We're preparing. We're starting to pack the trailer. Our bodies are getting sore from stepping up in the trailer and stepping down and stepping up and down. And then we have to drive to the horse show. And then we have to unload the trailer. So it's step up, step down, step up, step down. And then it's ready, set, go. It's time to start riding. And then it's long days, late nights, early mornings. By the end of it, we're absolutely exhausted. Our body hurts, our feet hurt, knees, everything hurts. Our horses are the same way. Competition is hard work. You know, we've mentioned that these horses are athletes. So if you think about getting in the trailer in that hall, how many times are they having to brace themselves sitting in that trailer to get their balance? They're tightening up their muscles. It's going to get sore from that. Then we unload them. Then we go and compete. We practice some more. Then we go home. They maybe get a day or two to relax if they can, unless we're, showing for those week-long circuits. Then they're training and competing. And it's just a circle that goes over and over again. It's going to wear and it's going to fatigue their muscles. So rebound technology was added into the ProForce to help reduce that chance of muscle soreness and help the muscles actually go in and repair themselves so the horses can get back to work the next day. And what it's using is it's actually going to use a little bit of glucose or glycogen, and that's where the horses are going to get their energy or fuel, I guess is the better word to use, to go in and support those muscle cells and the recovery of it. So kind of think about, you know, when we're dieting, carbs are a bad word. You don't want to have carbs when you're dieting. We all love our bread, but a lot of times we need those additional carbs because our muscles need that energy source. That's what's giving us the energy to go and work out every day or fuel in our bodies. So horses are the same way, but they're going to get that fuel from glycogen or glucose. And so with the rebound technology, we've created a technology that's going to help the horse utilize that glucose even more. And it's using FDA approved chromium and branch chain amino acids. So in the feeds, I've mentioned, you know, we've got the first 3 limiting amino acids. We've added in 3 more that are further going to help those muscles go in and repair. I'm going to pause there for a second because that was a lot of info.
Can I add to the story?
Yes. Yeah.
So as I hear what you're saying, okay, and then to add to the punchline is, okay, now you got to do warm-up trail, you got to show trail, you got to do your amateur to do warm-up trail, and then you got to show again. So
now you're applying.
Warm-up and showing trail adds on to all the excitement here of this muscle being sore, right? I'm proud of it. So
you know that is so true. And I want, that's a good segue. We can go back and talk more about it. So you can, but while your brain decompresses from all those words, can you put up Susie's photo, Kona? I think we had a kind of a before and after, and again, this was my 3-year-old, now 4-year-old, and this mare did make the trip to Florida and then turned around and made the trip to Vegas, winning the circuit in Florida in the Green Trail, winning the circuit in Vegas in the Green Trail, and just exactly what you talked about, Tim. You know, I was a little bit. This is kind of our first year to really kind of show her a little bit more and all that. Good after doing fraternities and stuff last year, and so this really. It's exactly what you're talking about, you know, being able to go and show and do your trail warm up, because with a young horse, you have to do a lot of trail warm up. And so how do you do that and not kill them and wear them out, wear them down to where they hate doing their job, right? Because if they don't have the strength and you keep trying, nope, you don't have your footwork right and all that, all this trail lingo that we've always talked about, you don't have enough substance to this horse to then they're going to shut down and they're going to quit on you at times, right? And then she was doing the Western riding, and Hannah showed her in the horsemanship and was reserve circuit champion, by the way, in Vegas in the 14 to 18 horsemanship on this 4-year-old, which I was super impressed with her for doing that. But, I mean, even in the picture, even though it's not a full picture of her where Shellie's got her hands right there, I think if you put your hands in that same spot on the picture on the right, you'd see she's just got more bloom, more to her, right?
Yep, for sure. And yeah, I mean, she is a very short and stout little mare with a lot of muscle, and you know, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of moving her body in ways that they don't naturally move that. And you know, just like us, when we go and work out, our muscles are not meant to work that way. I am not meant to go to bar and do 50 squat pulses holding a ball in between my legs. Like, just not built that way, and I am sore. So I need to go back and give my body the fuel at the end of the day to help it recover, so I'm not sore tomorrow when I go back and do that same exercise. So think the easiest way to break it down, after I threw all those big terminology and everything at you guys, easiest way to think about it is just like a post-workout protein shake. You've got to fill your body back up with everything that you depleted it from to help you go back the next day and go run and do showmanship, or go ride that horse, because it's going to take just as much leg muscle for us to go and guide them through that pattern as it is anything else, but to also keep us in shape in between the off season and riding as well.
Can you pop up that question from Amanda Leduc there, Kona? Put that up on the screen. She asked, do you feed the rebound containing feeds all the time, or just at times leading up to shows, through shows, and after?
Yeah, so the cool thing is you can feed it year round. You can feed it all the time. I mean, if you think about it, you're preparing those horses to go show, and they're getting worked every day. And sometimes we push them even more at home than we do at a horse show, because we're needing to get everything ready and right at home. So it's not as much work and prep time at the horse show, despite what, sometimes happens, but we do push them a little bit more at home, I think. So definitely want to make sure we're doing the work at home, the homework at home, to make sure that they're happy, sound, and healthy to go to that horse show. So I wouldn't weaken on feeding the rebound technology or anything with it.
And what is it? Is it a powder? Is it a what kind of feed are we talking here?
It is. So I didn't think about this, but we should have had Brad open up a bag. It is already added into the pellet. So when you open up the ProForce, it's going to be a wet pellet. You're going to see a couple different colors in there. You'll see like a dark brown color, a red color. You'll see a nugget in there, and all that technology, the amino acids, the pre and probiotics, the fat, everything's all been cooked into those pellets. So you don't have to worry about adding in anything additional to make sure that your horses are getting it, because it's all right there.
Well, and we've talked about supplements, and supplements are a good thing, and I'm not going to mention what I feed because they're not sponsors. I really, truly, nothing has changed in my program, and I don't know how long, and the only thing that has changed is the feed. And so, we had a question on, are we talking about feed or supplements, whatever? We're talking about Nutrena tonight. And, I love the fact that, because sometimes if you have somebody, they ran out of supplement, or they forgot to feed this or that, every day they're going to get this. I know my horses, no matter who is feeding. If a guy has a day off today, I know that the guy that's doing the feeding that day is going to be getting, my horses will be getting what they need. So that is just such a peace of mind. And again, knowing that they have the rebound, that they have all the everything that they need to be able to go from Tampa home for 4 days to Vegas. That was a big test for my horses, and I thought they succeeded, because KJ was one of those that did the same thing and ended up, she won the circuit in Vegas as well. So, from going to Tampa, both of my horses that went to Tampa ended up winning circuits in Vegas as well. So, I was very, very, training goes so far, but for those horses to continue to move forward in their training process and have the energy to be able to do it and make those hauls and all that, that's I'm not going to take all the credit for that. I'm going to give some of that to Nutrena.
Is there a point,
what's inside counts?
Yes, what's inside counts.
What were you going to say, Tim?
I said, is it, I think we have this one question here, but is there, like vitamins, let's say it's vitamin C for me, okay? Is there too much vitamin C, or is there to a point where it doesn't help me anymore? Like if I'm taking my vitamin D, my vitamin C, or any of your supplements we're talking here, is there a point where it doesn't do much better to keep adding more? Yep,
for sure. So say you start taking too much of one vitamin and your body doesn't need it, you're just going to excrete it out. So I see the question. SmartPak is a great company. They've got a lot of awesome additional supplements, and not to take away from them, but we do formulate all of our feeds with a nutrient profile, vitamin, mineral package, biotin, your pre and probiotics, all that to meet the average horse. Now that's not to say that, say Brad, KJ just needs a little bit extra biotin because her feet just aren't doing well. You can go and add that biotin, and then if it gets to the point where she doesn't need it anymore, she will just start excreting it out as waste. So, you can feed your supplements, definitely. You're going to help enhance what they may be lacking from, if they not lacking is probably not the right word, what they additionally that they may need on top of what's already in your complete feed.
One more thing here, and I'll let you guys have it. I think it's so important. I don't have to feed the horses. I guess I do if the girls tell me to. But, just learning about the feeds and learning about Nutrena, and there's other companies also too. But just kind of learning what we're trying to do for these horses, and on a night like this, it's so fun to hear this and just get more information. And Shellie's here to answer questions along the way. We get to have a little thing with Brad's horses too. When do we have time to do this? Here it goes. to have someone sit down and really talk about this and ask questions. I mean, I think it's a service. It's what Keeping It Real does. But I mean, it's, Shellie, thanks for coming on tonight for sure. And I'm just saying, what an opportunity for us all just to like open our eyes to what's going on, for our horses, because they can't talk,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, Brad, we mentioned a little bit earlier, and I'm going to kind of throw out a teaser here because we've got some stuff lined up. I've been working with Brad and Tim and Kona for Sun Circuit. We've got a cool show lined up for you that way. But Kona, if you want to go to the marine calcite slide. So this is something that has already been added into the ProForce as well, this marine source calcite. It's going to go in and really help support that gastric health. And it's coming from a red algae, and it's designed to help reduce that chance of ulcers. And I'm not going to say much more about it because, like I said, we've got a pretty cool show lined up there at Sun Circuit where we will dig into this a little bit more. So just want to throw that out there. And this is an additional source of that pre and probiotic and gut health that we are working to help improve your horse's diet.
Great. Can't wait to do that one.
Yeah, that should be
on the table, so we're all good.
Very, very informational for sure. We, going with what you had said, Tim, I don't think you can afford not to do this. You know what I mean? You gotta, we had planned it. Obviously, I was 3 days back from the NSBA world, youth world, and all that. We had kind of planned it ahead of time to be able to do it, and then we were moving into the new barn in September, and so I just think you can't not find the time to make sure that your horses have the best nutrition. If you have plans to show all over the country and still have that partner of yours, that horse, being there for you every stride, every step of the way, today, in the morning, in the afternoon, tomorrow in a different event in the showmanship, and then to have some bloom to it in the halter and stuff like that, which, by the way, Susie won the aged mares because I didn't show her any last year, so I didn't get any points on her because I didn't have performance. But she won the aged mares in Vegas, by the way. She won the circuit in that. But I just think you can't help but find the time. Pick up the phone, call Shellie if you're in Texas. She'll come out, do with you guys what she did with me and getting my horses set up with what they need. And I know that there's reps all over the country that can do the same thing. So
can you put your number down and text it to the people on the show?
Yeah, go ahead and say it. And then if you want to type it in, or Kona can type it in, or I'll tell you what, I'll type it in.
Yeah, so
actually I have it right here. You don't
let it fool you. My number is from Nevada, so it's going to be 775-881-8810. Pretty easy to remember there. Kona's popped up my contact information, and we are doing. You can go to NutrenaWorld.com, and there's all kinds of great blogs and info, and you can sign up. You can send in to contact us, and a rep will reach out to you. On our Facebook page, you can also sign up for a virtual fee consultation, free of charge, no cost to you guys. We'll do hay testing. We can, as Brad mentioned, I'm happy to come out if you're in Texas. We've got reps all over, and we love getting out, and that's what makes our job fun. We love talking to the end user and getting to touch horses all day. We don't just sell the feed. We live the world.
Right.
So that makes it fun to get out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Shellie, again for joining us tonight. Whitney, Brad, be looking for your certificates, your gift certificates from Nutrena in the mail. Shellie's usually good at getting those things out right away.
Thanks for all the questions.
And yeah, Shellie, thanks again. And we need to get together because I want you to come out and see the horses in flesh sometime soon.
For sure.
Yeah, if you have any time in February, let's try to make that happen because you would be, and I know you want to see the new place too, but you'll be tickled to death with how the horses look for sure in person.
Yep, I will get with you for sure.
All right, Shellie, have a good night. Thanks again. Tim and I got a few items of business we need to take hold before we close this thing down. And if you want to stay on, we'll catch up with you after the show either way.
Okay, yeah, because I have got to share info with you too for Sunset.
Yep, sounds good. All right, we'll catch you in a few minutes. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the Keeping It Real show tonight. Couple items of business. We have Thursday night. It's our pre-Valentine's weekend special night. And we've confirmed that we will have Leonard and Lee Berryhill on the show. Whoop, whoop. That's what I'm talking about. And then on
next Monday.
What day? On Monday we have Beth Case.
Point. I did that one this week.
Yep, Beth Case. She agreed with Timmy. And then next Wednesday, and I'm calling it out, and I told him today it's in Sharpie. It cannot be removed. Anthony Montez is going to be on the show. So we've got a good lineup here for the next week, so you're not going to want to miss that. And thank you again, Shellie, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Nutrena, for just being a continual sponsor. We so appreciate all that you do for the Keeping It Real show. Anything else, Tim, you want to mention?
I want to thank all our sponsors, too, and I got Dixie National coming up, and we've got Arizona coming up, and there we go, baby.
Yep.
Thank you, Kona Cam, for a great job again.
Yes, absolutely.
All
right, everybody. Have a great night. It's Brad and Tim for the Keeping It Real show. Oh, check this out. I got this to close the show. How about this? See what you think.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. We'll be landing in the airport in just a few minutes.
I love that. Here we go.
All right.
I'm glad you got time.
I know I was busy. I was like, that's going to be perfect next time Tim says that I got to get on a plane. All right. So the plane has landed. We are exiting the aircraft as we speak. Y'all have a great Wednesday night. I'm sorry. Yes, it's Monday night. It's Monday night. Have a great Monday night. Peace.